Hello, hi, fancy seeing you here. It is time for my September TBR. Yes, September TBR. And this month I'm not doing readathons. I'm not doing it. I had a look at the magical readathon prompts. Don't like them. Can't do them. Not for my TBR. It is very fantasy heavy, which makes absolute perfect sense, like 100% perfect sense. Can't do it. Not for my TBR. I have so much romance. I have historical fiction. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't fit the prompts. I tried to see what I could. I can't do it. I can't do it without twisting myself in knots and reading stuff that I really don't want to read. And guys, I'm burnt out. I'm so burnt out right now. I'm in serious pain. I'm in so much pain. I'm exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm exhausted. So I can't do it. So I'm not doing it. If you're doing it, amazing. Let me know down below because it's incredible the work that G has put in. Amazing. I will link the video down below so you can go and see. I also, because I'm so organised and I plan so much, so well. Cannot even remember what prompts I did for the spring equinox. So I don't even know what prompts I can do for the autumn equinox or for the autumn semester. Yeah, because you do your first lot in the spring and whatever classes you do then are the only classes you can do in the autumn. Did I keep track of what I did? Did I fuck? Yeah, so I've just put myself into a position where I literally cannot do. I can't do it, and it was the only one I was going to participate in, and I just can't do it. So we are flying by the seat of our pants this month for a TBR. So in the month of September, I thought I was giving myself an easy TBR, and then it started to snowball. Like, I was watching Gem's sprints, and I was like, guys, I'm really struggling with my TBR. Like, I was really struggling last night when I was doing this. And I was like, I'm really struggling. I've got 5 books. I can't find anything else to read. And then all of a sudden it started to snowball. And then today it snowballed a little bit more. So, first things first, I'm the realist. I'm sorry, I can't. First things first. We are down now to 4 books on this. Why did I put it down there? We are down to 4 books on this. 12 and 12 now. These are the 4 books that oh my god, this is only 4 books and this is not going well. Okay, we are down to 4 books on this 12 and 12. We have The Familiars, which is Shawnee's pick. We have The Silence of the Girls, which is Meg's pick. We have Billy Connolly's Rambling Man, which is Bobby's pick. And of course, we have The Fragile Threads of Power, which is Gem's nightmare. Gem's pick. Now, these 4, I don't know how to hold this. These 4 are all that we have left. So obviously we have September, October, November, December. So I will definitely be reading one of these in the month of September. Now, a little caveat with this. I am kind of tapering off at the end of the year and we're having not so good a time. I can't remember where I explained it, but my TBR at the end of last year, when I asked everybody to pick these books, my TBR was rubbish. And so, my TBR wasn't rubbish. My TBR wasn't, I didn't have that much books in my TBR. It was in the 50 to 60 region when we take out, like, sequels and stuff like that, and stuff that I didn't want them to pick. They had very few books to pick from. Also, I really didn't give them much to pick from. And also, I've noticed my tastes have switched. My tastes have changed a lot this year, especially within the historical fiction genre. So, I have unfortunately, so there's been a couple of books in the 12 and 12 that have been DNF'd or unhauled, or DNF'd and unhauled. Some of them have been finished and unhauled. We'll go through it when we get to the end of the year. I've unhauled some of them, so they're even out of the house. But with these 4, I am a little bit worried. So The Familiars and Silence of the Girls are the ones that I'm worried about. I think I'm going to end up DNFing these. These two I'm not worried about. Billy Connolly, this is a non-fiction from Billy Connolly talking about his life. I love these books. I collect these books. I'm so happy every time one of these books comes out. I've already got another one pre-ordered because I know this is like his stand-up routines in books. Like, if you watch his stand-up routines, it's just the stories he tells in his stand-up routines written down. So, can't go wrong with Billy Connolly. Also, this is the V. Schwab book. I don't think you can go wrong with the V. Schwab. This is a continuation of A Darker Shade of Magic. Oh my god, these books are so heavy. I'm going to put them on my shoulder. Okay. Pray that they don't fall. This is a continuation of A Darker Shade of Magic. So I don't see how this can go wrong. Touch. Touch wood. Touch wood. Touch wood. You've got the finger. That sounded bad. I hope you're watching. I hope you understand the... Touch wood. Okay, so I don't think we can go wrong here. However, these two. This is a World War II or World War I historical... No, wait, is it? Wait a minute. Pat Barker has done World War I, World War II historical fictions, but... Okay, this is a Greek... That's what it is. This is a Greek historical... I'm going to put these books down. 2 seconds. Okay, I've put them there so you can see them. This is Greek. This is Troy. This is a Troy retelling. This is like the female version of Song of Achilles. So it's from the women's perspective during like the Troy. Now this can go one of two ways, thanks to Natalie Haynes. Because after I read Stone Blind, something happened in my brain and it ruined Greek retellings for me. That book ruined Greek retellings for me. It made me hate them. It genuinely made me hate them. I hated that book so much. It made me hate Greek retellings, and I've struggled so much to get back on. I used to love reading Greek retellings. I've got Jennifer Saints, Atalanta, like I've got Electra and Ariadne, and I've got Atalanta, and I think that's all of them. I've not read Atalanta yet, even though Jennifer Saint, I used to pick up her books and read them automatically because of the issues I had with Stone Blind. And this is a Greek, and that's why I'm so worried about it, because, oh my god, Pat Barker's a woman. I just saw that it had this, I was like, it's got an award sticker on it as well, which normally means it's too smart for me, but I just thought it was shortlisted for the Women's Prize in Fiction. I thought Pat Barker was man. Pat, like Patrick. Pat. I'm guessing it's not. Okay, right, so this has made it better that it's written by a woman. Has it though? Because Natalie Haynes just ruined everything. Anyway, scrub that. I'm very scared to read this because of the experience I had with Stone Blind. But I feel a little bit better now. I've kind of reread the back of it. So, you know, I'm hopeful. And the other one is The Familiars. Now, I bought this when I was still thinking like I wanted to read like the witchy books. I've realised this year witchy books are not for me. I have some witchy books that I've read previously that I think I could reread and still really, really love because of the nostalgia and things like that, but I'm finding picking up new witchy books, not for me. So I'm worried I'm going to DNF this. However, I've spoken to Shawnee and they think that I'm going to love this. So we're going to see, but I'm not shy about DNFing if I have to. So let us find out. Can you tell I'm just stalling so that I don't need to do this? So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, and we got 1, 2, I don't even know whose these are, 3, and 4, all in there, and I'm just gonna give it a mix. My stomach is churning. I bet Jem's stomach is churning. Oh my god. Preferably, I'd like it if it was Billy Connolly because that's a nice short one. But if it's threads, it's threads. Something might have to get bumped if it's threads. Okay, we're going with this one. You can see the others are still in there. I don't know why I feel like I need to justify that I'm not cheating to you. Hey, this part. It's fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Right, we're going to count 3, 2, 1. Okay, wait, is that upside down still? Yeah. Bugger. Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Jen, you can breathe easy another month. Breathe? Did I say breathe easy? Breathe easy. I can't get the lid on that. Okay, Jem, you've got a reprieve for another month. We will be reading. I will be reading The Familiars by Stacey Halls. So, yeah, this is set in Lancashire, 1612. It's a witchy book, but apparently I'm gonna like it. I'm going off what Shawny said. I'm purely going off what Shawny said. I bought this in 2020 when we were on lockdown, and I was just buying stuff off of Amazon. But do you know what? I do trust Shawny. That is the only thing getting me through this, is that I trust Shawny. If I DNF it, I DNF it. I know that I've gone off witchy books, but yeah, okay. Okay, it's fine. We're fine. So, my 12 and 12 this month is going to be The Familiars by Stacey Halls. And now onto the abject misery that I planned for myself. So first up is Spyglass, which is the September pick for, or not the September pick, the September book for the Chronicles of Exeter Read Along. This is the last in the Glass trilogy, and yeah, so this is September's book. If you're joining along with us, please do let me know, and I will put the links to the Twitter where we can get links to all the Discord and things like that in the description. So yeah, this is the last in our trilogy, and then we're moving on to the next study trilogy, and then it will be Valak's trilogy. We're really chugging through them. I'm really proud that we're managing to get through this so quickly. It doesn't, not quickly, like we're doing one a month, but it feels really quick. So yeah, Spyglass is the next one and the last one in this trilogy, and it's just a continuation of Opal's story. But I'm not gonna lie, I have not read Sea Glass yet, so this will also be on the TBR because I still need to read it, and it will be probably the first thing that I read in September so that I can actually get it off my TBR and we can do the live show. So yeah, these two are going on the TBR. Next, I actually did something to help me for once and be a little bit more organised. So these little notes in my hand. These little notes in my hand represent the 3 books that are coming out in September that I knew I was going to want to drop everything and read immediately when they came out. And so I have built them into my TBR instead of going, oh crap, when they turn up at my door and suddenly I have to add 3 books to my TBR, because of course I'm going to want to read them as soon as I get my grubby little mitts on them. The first one is The Wingman by Stephanie Archer. It is the 3rd book and the next book in the Vancouver Storm series. It's the first one that is coming out traditionally published. So I've got 1 and 2 in the indie published editions, which are like bigger than the regular editions and like trad publishing. So it's going to be painful to put that on the shelf and see it like be shorter than them. But do you know what? It's fine. I don't care. We've got the story. I can't remember who this follows. At this point, I don't even care. I'm just getting the books as they come out because I love the Vancouver Storm series. It is just one of my favourites. I love Stephanie Archer and I love that series. So yeah, had to get it when it was coming out. So proud that she managed to get a trad publishing deal, and I can't wait to read it. The next, and I think the first one to get to me, I think the author has been doing a countdown on Instagram and it's driving me nuts, and I think that's the point, obviously, is Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. Yes, Elsie Silver, my queen. I'm getting the special W.H. Smith edition of this, and a photo won't do it justice, so I'll show you when I get it and you'll see it in my vlogs. It is going to be completely foiled, like all of the detailing in orange is going to be foiled, and it's going to be beautiful. It's only available at W.H. Smith. It's going to be so pretty. I don't know if it's just pre-orders or not, but I've pre-ordered it. And Wild Eyes follows Ford's friend and Rosie's brother from the first book from Wild Love. I can't remember his name. That's terrible. I've been looking at the thing for so long and I can't remember his name. And another character who we are briefly introduced to in the first book, but I'm not going to say who it is. And yeah, he is a single dad. He is a little bit older than she is, and by all accounts, he, like, by the reviews that are coming in from the ARC readers, it is just like Elsie's best book yet. And I'm just like, It sounds like, and this one's for you, Chloe, it sounds like it's going to be like Cade 2.0, so I'm just so excited, because everybody loves Cade. Like, everybody loves Cade from this Chestnut Spring series. So it sounds like it's going to be like Cade 2.0, and I'm interested to see how this goes. So, yeah. I'm very excited to get my, like I say, grubby little mitts on that, because I love Elsie Silver's books. Like, you can take them out of my cold dead hands, and even then you're going to get a fight from a zombie. Because I love Elsie Silver, we all know this. And this new series, I am here for it. And the last of my pre-orders that are coming in this month is Percy Jackson and the Wrath of the Triple Goddess. Obviously by Rick Riordan. Yeah, so we're getting a new Percy Jackson book. I'm so excited. He is doing a new series, so it sits kind of here. So this is my new edition of Percy Jackson. So this is the first one in the series that has come out. So we have the Percy Jackson series, the Heroes of Olympus series, and then timeline-wise, no, that's a lie. I think timeline-wise this comes after Trials of Apollo. I can't remember if this comes after Trials of Apollo or before Trials of Apollo, but I've just slipped it in here. Because I need to reread Trials of Apollo. I think it comes, or maybe it is at the same time as Trials of Apollo? Because Percy's not really in Trials of Apollo. Anyway, it comes after Heroes of Olympus, but before The Sun and the Star. Like, timeline-wise, but they're being published after The Sun and the Star, obviously, because I've got The Sun and the Star. But yeah, so it's just another, like, Percy, Annabeth, Grover, back to the original gang sort of idea, and the idea is that Percy's trying to get into college and he needs 3 letters. Is it going to be 3? I think it's going to be a trilogy. I don't know where I've pulled 3 letters out of my butt from, but Percy needs letters of recommendations from gods, and so he has to take on trials or like do things for these gods to get these recommendation letters. And the first one was for Ganymede, and the second one is, I'm assuming, for, I'm guessing Hecate. I'm not entirely sure how I've heard multiple different pronunciations of the name. Not one of them has stuck in my brain. My guess, I don't actually know who it is. I've not looked at the synopsis, but my guess of who the triple goddess is Hecate. Hecate. I say it different every time. Because she has she has 3 forms. And then my guess for who it is going to be is Hecate. Hecate. That is my guess. I might be totally wrong. That is just me throwing it. Like I say, I've not read the synopsis. I saw new Percy Jackson book. I clicked order. I know nothing about this book other than it's Percy Jackson. So yeah, don't take that as gospel if you're thinking about reading it. This is just my guess. But I'm excited. Next up is the one that made it onto my TBR. It's slid itself onto my TBR right at the edge, right today, earlier today. And I need to order tickets. And that is The Betrayal of Thomas True by A.J. West. And can we just get a moment of appreciation for those edges? Unfortunately, the top and bottom are just standard spray block edges. But oh my god. So the reason this has slipped its way onto my TBR so late is that Waterstones and Blackwell's put onto their Instagram stories that AJ West is doing a talk in Edinburgh on Thursday next week. Yes, Thursday next week, as I'm filming this, about this book. And I loved the first book I read from him, The Spirit Engineer. And so I want to go to that, which means I need to read this book. It is obviously not a very large book. It is very small. This is a standard hardback. And this is it's a teeny weeny hardback. And so this shouldn't take me long to get through. But I'm absolutely enthralled by, see, when I found out what this book was about, I had to have it. So this is about gay men back in 1715. I don't know if that's Georgian, Edwardian, Elizabethan, Victorian. I don't know my eras. Okay? But 1715, it is about gay men and molly houses, and it is based on the lives of real people, on things that happened to real men and real establishments, molly houses that existed. And have you ever seen, spoilers for Bridgerton. Not spoilers for Bridgerton, spoilers for Downton. Have you ever seen that episode of Downton where there's a male character that goes to this place where it's like all gay men and men who dress up as women. I don't know if they're trans or if they just like dressing up. It doesn't go that deep. But they are out with the norm. And they're seen as like freaks and stuff like that. There's a whole thing about it, but it doesn't go that deep into it. Those are the kind of establishments we're talking about. Places where gay men can go to be themselves, to be gay, to meet other men, etc, etc. And obviously in this time it was highly illegal. And so it is not a nice time to be alive. It's not a nice time to be a man who is gay, who is unusual in this way. And so this apparently is heartbreaking. Susie on TikTok, who does she does a lot of history stuff. She is friends with AJ West, and she read this before it came out and absolutely bawled her eyes out apparently. So much that she made like a joke video demanding an apology from him because she just so yeah, I'm so excited to read this. The Spirit Engineer, like by the end of it, you could have knocked me over with a feather. I was so stunned. I love that book. His writing style, the way he intrigued me, like everything about it was just unbelievable. And so I think this is going to be I cannot wait. I've got such high expectations for this book, and I cannot wait to see him on Thursday next week. I just need to book the tickets, so I will do that after I finish filming this video. Next is the non-fiction that I've chosen for this month. I basically put all my non-fiction on a spinner wheel and did the spinny thingy, because I otherwise will not pick a non-fiction because I can't decide. And that is All the Living and the Dead by Hayley Campbell. This is another one I got off of Vicky because apparently all my non-fiction crime stuff comes from Vicky now. So yeah, this is, again, I'm not entirely sure, but this is about people who study death. So I'm assuming like forensic scientists of some ilk. It's another one where it's really short, like sub 250 pages. So hopefully that will be a really fast read, and I have been really enjoying these. Next, I am continuing my read of the Cuba saga by Chanel Clayton with The Most Beautiful Girl in Cuba. This, I think, goes back in time even further than the last one. So I think we're going back into the 1800s. And we are looking at Cuba as it was when it was under the rule of the Spaniards. So this is going to be really interesting. This is a time and a place that I've never read before. I've not read the synopsis because I just trust the process at this point. But they're talking about Cuban independence. The only thing I see in here is it says 1896, but I don't know if that's when it's set or if that's like something that they harken back to in the book, so I'm unsure. But it's definitely around the time of the Cuban independence from Spain, so that'll be a nice interesting time. I know what I mean. It'll be an interesting time to read from because, again, that's not a time period or an event that I've ever read from before, and I'm absolutely loving the way that Chanel Clayton is showing these stories of things that happened to people from Cuba and these things that we never get taught about. Like, I've never been taught about anything about Cuba, really. Anything I've ever seen has only been about the fact that it was like, you get the Cuban Missile Crisis, you get the fact that it was behind like, I don't think it was part of the Iron Curtain, but like it was so shrouded in mystery for so long because once they kicked the Americans out, they had no communication with the outside world, like the outside Western world, to the point where like it became such an enigma and a mystery and stuff like that. And then when they let everybody in, it was like it being frozen in the 60s and stuff like that. Like, so like the most I know about Cuba is from watching like Dirty Dads and Havana Nights, and that is not advisable to have as like historical accuracy. Absolutely not. So reading from a Cuban author, like her family's Cuban American, reading from like someone whose history goes back to Cuba, and is digging into her own family history, digging into like all that, is just, it's been invaluable and incredible to learn about the history of a country I've never been to, will probably never go to even. and somewhere that is just so rich in its own history. Also, I am really slacking on my reread of this series. I think I've only got one more after this. I've got this and I've got one more. So I'm only 2 books to go. So very sad. I don't think we're getting another book this year. I've been checking our website and checking Amazon, and there doesn't seem to be a new book coming out this year. She is slowing down, and I'm very sad. Very sad. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do if my supply ever stops. Like, at one point, she's going to stop writing the books. But, like, what do I do then? What do I do? How am I going to cope? I mean, I'm just going to reread the books constantly. But yeah, so this is After the Bite by Lindsay Sands, and this follows Valerian, who we have met in previous books. You probably don't know who he is. I know who he is. It follows Valerian, and he has been having a time of it. He has been going on mission after mission after mission as an enforcer, and he just wants a break. He just wants a break, and he just wants to go and spend time on this golf course. And unfortunately, when he gets there, he finds out that the owner, Natalie, is his life mate. And oh, crap, somebody just tried to kill her. And it's probably an immortal. And now he needs to figure out why somebody's trying to kill his life mate. And this is the one with the big fluffy dog! Sorry. They've got a... Oh, what kind of dog is he? You know, the big fluffy... Big as a pea. Is it big as a pea? Yeah, the big fluffy white ones. What are they called? Oh my god. Then you know the big fluffy white ones. They're not... Is it the Livestock Guardian ones? Yeah, the big fluffy white... There's one called Donut, and he's really tired all the time. Because he does the night shift. And then she comes and checks on him in the morning, and she, like, wakes him up, and it's like, leave Donut alone. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Pyrenees! Great Pyrenees! He's a Great Pyrenees, and he's amazing. I love him so much. Can't remember what the dog's name is, but I'll tell you at some point. Yeah, so... Basically, there's somebody stalking Natalie, his life mate. I don't know if I told you her name, I failed the Bechdel test. Somebody's stalking Natalie, and Valerian's like, well, sod my holiday, because ain't nobody's killing my life mate. No. And, I can't get enough. I cannot get enough of these books. Did someone mention rereads? Someone did mention rereads. And I will also be finishing off my reread of the Chestnut Springs series. It's been a couple of months. It has been a couple of months since I have reread since I reread Reckless. It takes a while to get over Theo Silva. It really does. But I will be finishing off the Chestnut Springs series with Hopeless, which follows Bo, who is the middle child, I think. And he is the soldier in the family, and this occurs after obviously all the other books, because they work chronologically, even though they are standalones, but they also work together. Like, they all continue chronologically, if that makes sense. And this occurs after he comes back, and he... Oh, I don't want to spoil something that happens in Powerless. Basically, he is back on home soil. He's back in Canada. He is no longer working as a soldier for reasons, and he is not dealing with it very well. Enter Bailey, who is the bartender at the local bar where all the boys and stuff like to go. And her family is not very well liked in the area. And unfortunately, that kind of extends to her, because her brothers and her dad, they are the trash. They need to be taken out with the trash. They're horrible. They are constantly making issues for everybody. They just need... I hate her brothers and her dad. I really do. But Bailey herself is actually very kind, very sweet, very nice, very intelligent. She wants to go to university and get herself out of the town and away from the people who glare at her and just lump her in with her horrible dad and brothers. Her mum, I don't know, I can't remember what happened to her mum. Her mum is no longer there. And she says to Bo, she makes an offhand comment to Bo at one point that if she had his name, she would also have the same respect, because she thinks his family are like royalty in the town. And he's like, oh, do you want to make a bet? And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so he floats this plan of having a fake engagement to give her his name, like literally give her the Eton name, attach her to his family to prove that, prove in some way, like, have it, like, the name would do something about the respect that she's given. I can't exactly remember because it's been a while since, it's been like over a year or something since I've read these books, maybe even longer. And so they enter into this fake relationship, and obviously they have to do the whole fake dating thing where they're seen in public and this, that, the next thing, and obviously, like, the fake part of it goes right out the window, as it always does in every fake dating scenario. This is another one where it's an age gap, like there's at least, I think there's 10 to 15 years or something age gap. Some people don't like this one because there is an age gap and because she's in like her early 20s and he's in his 30s, but if you don't like that, don't read it. I don't care because they're fictional characters and it's not, like, I was reading Twilight. There's like a 100-year gap and she was 18, or not even 18. My mind can get around like 15 years. But, you know, he never does anything that I think is disrespectful. He always lets her... I'm not going to start over-explaining it. Don't even dare. It is a book. It's not that deep. Yeah, so I loved Bo. Bo was my favourite character up until I read... Like, I was foaming at the mouth for Bo's book to be released until I read Reckless. And then Theo was my favourite character. But Bo in this book... I don't know, I want to see what it's like on reread because Bo is a totally different person in this book than he is in the previous books, again, due to reasons that are explained in other books. Like, it makes sense. But, I don't know, because I do love Bo so much. I do love Bo. And there will be a lot of discussion in vlogs and wrap-up about this, so stay tuned for spoilers. Next up is a book I just got and yeah, we'll have to read immediately, and that is Daydream by Hannah Grace. And can we just get a moment of appreciation for the edges? I almost didn't buy this edition. I almost just stayed with the regular edition because I don't have the edges for the other two. And now if they release the other two retrospectively with edges, I'm gonna have to get the edges versions and get rid of my other versions, so yeah. Again, I did accidentally buy 2 editions of this. Like 2. Like, I've got another one down here. So, if nobody wants it, I'm just going to return it. So if you do want it, just let me know. You can have it for cost. Because I would like to get my money back for accidentally ordering it, but I can take it back to the shop. It's still within its return. But if somebody wants it, if there's none left and you desperately wanted a copy, but you couldn't get a copy because some idiot ordered 2 copies instead of 1. Hi, it's me, I'm the idiot. I will let you have it for the cost of it. Anyway, so yeah, Daydream is the third in the... Oh, here we go. What is this one called? I don't think this has a series name. If it does, I don't remember it. But yeah, so this is the third book, and funnily enough, I was just looking for the name of the series, and on the back this says not suitable for younger readers, and in the first page content warning, Daydream is intended for mature readers only. It contains complex themes and sexually explicit content. And I got arseholed by a bookseller because when I went in, when I went into a bookshop, I saw Icebreaker in the young adult section, and I said to the bookseller, I was like, oh, by the way, obviously you won't have read every book that comes into your shop. Icebreaker's in the young adult section. I've read it and it is really sexually explicit. I think it's probably meant to be in the adult section. I don't know like how books are classified when they come into the shop or whatever, but like it is really sexually explicit, so I don't know if it should be in the adult section or I wasn't accusing them or anything. I wasn't saying like you've put it, like I was trying to be like nice and just be like, oh, by the way, like you probably don't know, because like again, they can't read every book that comes in. But no, she was like, well, it comes in from the publisher as young adult, so it's going to stay in the young adult section. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, I'm not here to tell people what they can and can't read. And it's like something about like made it sound like I was trying to like ban people from reading books and stuff like that. Like the way she was talking to me, I was just like, okay. And I wanted to leave immediately, but I couldn't because we were there for an event. And it made me feel really deeply uncomfortable the way she spoke to me, and I was not happy. at all with the way she spoke to me. Like, it made me feel like I just walked up to him like, how fucking dare you do this? Nah, you're disgusting. Like, I was just trying to say, like, I'm aware of something. I don't know if you're aware of it. I'm going to make you aware of it. Whatever you want to do with that information. Like, all she had to say was, thank you for letting me know. And I would have been none the wiser if she didn't move it. But yeah, so now, like, because a lot of people are having issues or making comments about the fact that these have, like, cartoon, like, a lot of these romance books and stuff like that have cartoonish covers that look like they should be, like, young adult children's-esque books, but are explicit. And that discussion has been had about, like, it being inappropriate for children and things like that. But it has on the book that it's not suitable. Yeah, 18 plus content, not suitable. So why, like, if she's not, I'm just gonna leave that there. She's not shelved that on purpose. The publisher sent it out saying that it's young adult. Young adult is not 18 plus. Like, that says, I literally just showed you that. 18 plus content, that to me is adult. Wildfire, 18 plus content. That should not be touching the young adult shelves. That should be in the adult section. I feel vindicated now. Not suitable for younger readers. So maybe this one's less spicy, as it were. Anyway, I'm looking forward to reading it because Henry is my favourite character from the other two, from the background characters, side characters. I'm looking forward to this so much. Anyway, I'll take my TED Talk hat off, get off my high horse, and I'm just looking forward to reading this so much. I've been looking forward to reading it since it was announced that Henry was getting his own book, so it'll make me so happy. And I think the cardigan it's very Swifty, if I do say so myself. And next is a book that's technically not on my TBR, but it is borrowed, and if I like it, will be going onto my shelves. But that is Fractal Noise by Christopher Paolini, and this is borrowed from Vicky. This is we're getting some shine off the ring light. This is the prequel to something. This is the prequel to something by Christopher Paolini. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. That's what it is. This is the prequel to Sleep in a Sea of Stars. Now, I have a strange relationship with sci-fi. I don't like space opera-y, sci-fi, Star Wars-y sci-fi type things in books. I will watch the crap out of that. Like, I love watching I love Star Wars. Like, I'll watch it. I'll watch that type of space stuff. But I don't like reading it. For some reason, reading that type of stuff, I don't like. Watching it, yes. Reading it, no. It's the same with crime books and stuff like that, like CSI and NCIS and stuff like that. I will watch it, don't like to read it. And that's the same with my sci-fi. I like to watch it, not read it. But things like Becky Chambers and Andy Weir and stuff like that, I really like that type of sci-fi. And the Fractal Noise is like a First Contact type of sci-fi, rather than To Sleep in a Sea of Stars is more of a, like, Star Wars-y type of sci-fi. Bad way of explaining, but I know what I mean. And so Vicky and Tori reckon I will like this more than I would like To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. So we're going to dip our toe in. It's not very long. I'm going to read this and see what I think. I might read... One of them said they think I might like To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. So we're going to read this. This is not a commitment. This is a very short book. This is sub 300 pages. So we're going to read this, see what I think. If I like Christopher Paolini's writing style, I might dip my toe into To Sleep in a Sea of Stars, because that book is a chunker. And if it's a chunker or something that I'm not going to like, I am not making that commitment. But this sounds so good. Like, this sounds so good. Like, this sounds right up my alley. But it's a prequel. So, we shall see. We shall see. So this is like scientists are... I'll read you the synopsis. I've not done that yet, so I'll read you the synopsis. No one could prepare for the ultimate encounter. On the planet Talos 7, an anomaly is detected. A vast circular pit 50 kilometres wide, with dimensions so perfect that it must have been designed. But who could have built it? More importantly, why? A hand-picked team of scientists is assembled to find answers. They must land on the uninhabited planet, then journey on foot across the surface, all driven by their own internal demons. For one explorer, the mission is the opportunity of a lifetime. For another, a risk not worth taking. For xenobiologist Alex Crichton, it is a desperate attempt to find meaning in an uncaring universe. The small team finds itself on a hazardous trek to the very edge of existence, every step towards the mysterious abyss more punishing than the last, and the ghosts of their pasts follow. Like, this is kind of like, it sounds to me very similar to like Project Hail Mary. If you've read Project Hail Mary, I think you'll know what I mean. So I really want to read this. And yeah, if I like this, I might dip into it to Sleep in Sea Stars. But that's TBD. TBD. If you thought that was the end of my TBR, you were wrong. Because I ended up reactivating my NetGalley. I came off NetGalley because I was not getting accepted for things. I was getting rejection after rejection after rejection. And your girl does not like rejection. I don't take rejection well. And so I came off NetGalley and I was like, that's it, I'm done with it. I'm not doing it. I hate it. But an author I really like had said that one of her books that I've already got it pre-ordered, but she was putting it on NetGalley. And the thing is, I didn't realise that it was only on US NetGalley. So she's putting it on UK NetGalley. I just need to wait for it. But while I was on NetGalley, I saw A Pirate's Life for Tea, which is the sequel to You Can't Spell Treason Without Tea. And a few other things. But I requested a few things. I requested a few things on NetGalley. But you can see where this is going. So I got accepted today. Today, I got accepted for A Pirate's Life for Tea. I've never got accepted for anything on NetGalley. Like, I think I got accepted for 3 things on NetGalley. One of them, none of them have. One of them I DNF'd, and I had to write a review to be like, I DNF'd this. One of them I think I got 3 things, and one I had to return because it didn't work. Like, the actual file didn't work. One I DNF'd and I had to like review it and be like, it wasn't for me. And the other one I actually read, liked, and reviewed, so it was fine. But I got accepted for A Pirate's Life for Tea, and if you don't think I'm dropping everything to read that, you did not see me read Can't Spell Treason Without Tea. So it is now on my NetGalley shelf, and I will be reading A Pirate's Life for Tea next month because, oh my god, I am reading A Pirate's Life for Tea next month. You best believe. So yeah, my TBR got a wee bit out of hand. If you don't know what Can't Spell Treason Without Tea or A Pirate's Life for Tea is about, so it is Can't Spell Treason Without Tea. I can't speak. The premise of the book is that there is a guard and an all-powerful mage, and the mage asks the guard, they are in a relationship, they are in a sapphic relationship. She asks her to run away with her, and she constantly says no. And then one day she gets sick of the queen that she is protecting, and she asks the mage to ask her one more time. And this time she says yes. And so they run away and they open a tea and book shop. And it is basically them in this place building this tea shop, like a la Legends and Lattes. Like putting the roof on, building the shelves, sanding the wood. Like, there's things that happen around it. It's slightly more action-packed than Legends and Lattes. There's dragons involved. There's townspeople, there's like things that happen, there's a little bit more threat involved. There's a guard that doesn't know when to rest herself and pushes herself too far. Don't know what that's like. And there's lesbians. They're lesbians and it's great. And somebody once started it for having too many lesbians. And so the dedication for A Pirate's Life for Tea is dedicated to those who one starred it for having lesbians, and for this one she doubled the lesbians. So I'm so excited. There is the epilogue in this one is like this, the sort of start-ish to this one, and I'm already intrigued. So yeah, I will be reading that and reviewing it in the next month. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You best believe everything I got on I've requested on NetGalley is something that I will be dropping everything to read when I get it. Although in saying that, there's one I got that was a Christmas book. Like, I have been accepted for another one that's a Christmas book that I might have to put off for a little bit because it's a Christmas book. I don't know. Anyway, Percy for Tea. Pre-order it. I've got the pre-ordered version to go with it. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is Cat's Book Trees Without Tea. These are the beautiful edges. I have pre-ordered a Pirate's Life for Tea with the edges to go with this, and I'm so excited. So yes, that is my TBR for the month of September. I was going to say, am I going to regret this? Probably. I don't think I am, because I'm genuinely excited for every book on this TBR. Like, genuinely, I want to read. That's how everything ended up on my TBR. I'm genuinely excited for every single book on this TBR. But there are books that I don't mind not reading. Like, I've got 2 rereads on there that I can just put aside. Like, I'm genuinely excited for every book on my TBR, except maybe the familiars. But it's fine. If I DNF that, I DNF that. Spyglass, I'll probably get punted in next month. That's not a problem. I'm actually quite happy with that. I'm really genuinely quite happy with that. Don't ask me how many pages I need to read, because I have 3 books incoming. So I can't even track that this month, which is terrifying. So I'm just going to have to do my best, and that's all we can really do. So once again, let me know if you're joining in with the Chronicles of Ixia read along in the comments. Let me know if you're doing any readathons this month. If you're doing the Aurelium Magical Readathon, let me know. I really hope you enjoy it, but it just was not... It was just not for me this month. I have burned myself out this month. It's just not happening. I just need a chill... the list. I just need a chill read a month where I can just be happy and not trying to fit and shoehorn things into prompts. I'm so excited that I'm going to get to meet Deborah Harkness this month, and I'm going to get to meet AJ West, because I'm going to see Deborah Harkness as well. But I don't need to read a book for that, because I've already read all of them and the new one. Spoiler for my wrap up. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you want to let me know you were here, leave me something down below for either a Pirate's Life for Tea or Cat's Book Trees Without Tea. So tea emoji, dragon emoji, book emoji, pirate emoji, something like that down in the comments. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.